What is up, guys? Is it time to graduate to gold? Stay tuned to the end to find out. What do I mean by graduate to gold? Well, silver is often referred to as a starter metal or the beginner metal. I know a lot of us, including myself, first started out buying silver. I didn't even consider my first piece of gold until almost 2 years after I started stacking. It's just a lot easier to save up $30 to $75 a week, kind of buy 1 or 2 ounces of silver at your leisure, and you are essentially stacking precious metal. It's not as easy to save up and buy $175 worth of gold, which ends up being this little guy, little piece of gold. It's also a lot more intimidating. Gold is obviously, like I said, more expensive. It's way more intimidating. On the other side of that, silver has almost like a cult following. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed we got guys in this community that just pour tons of silver on their table. I mean, a lot. And they don't have that much gold. And part of that is due to the fact that silver is, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me, undervalued to a certain extent. But on the other hand, silver is also the gimmicky metal. We have guys making silver into, weird shapes, and we have silver pourers making limited mintages, and there's a lot of gimmicky aspects to silver that are affordable and kind of makes it more of a collector's item as well as an investment. Whereas gold is pretty straightforward. Bullion, coins. That's it. We don't have guys making weird shapes out of gold and gold pourers. We don't have that with gold. So as far as that goes, I understand why silver is the more attractive out of the two, at least within this community. If you go outside the community, because of what people are exposed to that aren't educated on precious metals, they're going to assume there's more people hoarding gold than there is silver, just for the sole fact that mainstream media has pushed that on us since we were kids. You win first place, you get a gold medal. You think of a treasure chest, you think of a gold filled with gold in that treasure chest. That's just how we have been raised. Gold is the pinnacle of precious metal. But in all honesty, they pretty much do the same thing. If gold is going to go up in value, silver is going to be right behind it. And historically, silver has actually outperformed gold in a lot of those extreme scenarios. So I get it. I understand. They are pretty much tied together. They serve the same purpose, and they will move at the same time. So why do you need gold in your stack? Besides the obvious reason of the difference in storage, and the reason what made me think of this video is that I'm actually starting to run into storage problems. Silver just takes up a lot of room, a lot. And as you can see here, this piece of silver is probably about $20 more than that piece of gold. And look at the difference in storage. Then you got this. You have all these containers for your constitutional silver. All these containers take up a lot of room. You got your eagles in there. So silver takes up a lot more room, and gold does not. For the amount you pay for gold and the small pieces you get, it does not take up as much room. So if you plan on buying a lot of precious metal, you should actually put some gold in there for the sake of storage. On top of that, and this is something that I think a lot of us kind of overlook or don't think about it, maybe because it's too far ahead, or we're just not 100% sure what we're going to end up doing with our precious metal. But when it's time to finally sell your entire stack, whether it's for retirement or whatever the reason, you're finally done with precious metals, it's served its purpose, gold is going to be the easier metal to sell. And not because it's more liquid. Gold and silver are pretty much the same when it comes to liquidity, but because it's going to be a lot more simple. Silver, you're going to have a massive variety, a lot more silver, even if it's the same value. If you have a 50-50 split, it's going to take a lot more energy and time, and it's going to be a lot more complicated to sell your silver than it will be your gold stack. That's just the reality. So what is the answer? When do I finally graduate to gold? When do I start putting some gold into my stack? And the answer is when you feel comfortable enough. When your silver is taking up so much room that you have no choice but to go into gold. And also, when you feel like you are saving enough or you have enough disposable income to finally taking a stab at some gold. Now, for anyone that either you don't have enough disposable income to get into gold and that's what's kind of holding you back, or you just can't budget for it, or you don't want to budget for it, it takes too long, you can always have a separate silver stack solely to be traded into gold. And you can make it as simple as possible. You could buy silver American Eagles, super liquid, and they sell very easily, and you will easily transfer those Eagles into a nice fractional piece of gold. And 1/10 ounce and up are really good ways to start in gold. And I mentioned this before. There's a lot of us that can't afford to buy the 1/4 ounce or the 1/2 ounce. That's even harder to basically put money away to take a stab at those big pieces of gold. There's nothing wrong with the 1/10 ounce. I have a lot of 1/10 ounce. They will add up. And as much as people want to fight me on this, you will get the premium back. Because just like I'm buying 1/10 ounce with the premium, and you're buying 1/10 ounce with the premium, there's another million people buying these 1/10 ounce with the premium. That is the cost in order to get your hands on gold at an affordable price. And people understand this. The 1/10 ounce, you will get the premium back, and they're just as liquid as the 1/4 ounce or the 1/2 ounce. So that is my take on that. Should you have gold in your stack? Absolutely. Don't just go with silver, and don't just go with gold on the opposite spectrum of that. But anyways, let me know your thoughts below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Make sure you like it and you subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later.